So today's workshop is called Embrace Fear, Transform Your Life. It is a powerful workshop on embracing fear and unlocking personal growth, and I'm so excited to dive deeper into it with you today. So just a gentle reminder, if you are watching the recording today, what I want you to do is to not be afraid to really pause and truly dive deep into each exercise that I'm going to be moving you through. The reason why, it's because my intention behind today's workshop is to help you really gain clarity on who you are, what your values are at your core, what's important to you. And so that requires a lot of self-exploration and really diving deep into spending this 1 hour or less with yourself. So use this as an opportunity to dive deep into getting to know who you are so that when you leave today's recording or today's workshop, you feel empowered and you have clarity on where you're headed. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me after the recording or the workshop via email. My email and my information is going to be at the end of the workshop. So on our lineup for today's online workshop, here's what I will be discussing. Okay, the first thing we're going to talk about is understanding the power of fear. Fear is not here to scare you. It is not against you. And if you can learn how to use it to your advantage, which you will after learning a few of the tools I will be sharing with you today, you will feel so much more empowered. So I cannot wait to share this with you. I'll be walking you through a little quiz or a little assessment to see if you are in fact, paralyzed by fear. And if this resonates for you, then this workshop is definitely in alignment and you're at the right place at the right time. The second thing I will cover today is fear as a catalyst for growth. This is the entire intention behind today's workshop. So we will be diving deep into really learning, different tools and modalities to help you navigate fear. And I will be walking you through an exercise where we will be diving deep. After that, the second topic I decided to cover today is, alongside with fear, is self-doubt, as they're both really intertwined. And so I'll be talking about understanding, self-doubt. I'll be walking you through a powerful exercise as well to help you shift the narrative in your mind and ways to overcome self-doubt as well. These are going to be the two exercises I'll be covering in today's workshop. And last but not least, there's going to be a Q&A period. Now, normally this is a live workshop and people are going to be asking questions, but since this is going to be a recording, feel free to reach out to me at the end of the workshop via email or on my socials to ask me the questions you have. I would love to connect with you and, get to know you on a personal level and be of assistance if I can. So without further ado, let's dive deep into getting to know who's the facilitator, right? Who am I? Why am I the right person to help you today? Why are you watching my workshop today? So in a nutshell, I'll cover who I am quickly. So I am the founder of Infinite Alignment Coaching. This whole workshop is brought to you by Infinite Alignment Coaching. It is a premium life coaching for women, specifically here to help women transition from a life that feels misaligned, a life that feels chaotic, unsettling, to a more aligned life. I consider myself the middle women between 3D living and 5D living, and I'll share with you a little bit more on how I was able to do that in the next slides. But my intention, creating workshops like this is to just bring you tools and shed light on a different way of life, because I was once living a life that was not fully in alignment and I was miserable, and I don't want anyone to go through that as well. So without further ado, let's jump into the topic of today, which is fear and working out of it. Now, in order for us to be able to move through fear, we need to know what fear is and how we can overcome it. So what is fear exactly? I'm pretty sure some of you probably heard about it, but fear is false evidence appearing real. And at some point in our lives, it made sense, right? Decades, ions ago, where our brains would register a potential threat and project that into the future so we can be reactive and kind of like act accordingly. Our modern day fears are not as dramatic and not as scary, and it is time for us to really learn how to harness that power of fear and use it to our advantage. Now, some common signs of fear include the following, right? Feeling anxiety, feeling worry, feeling irritable and restless, like your body's in this constant state of fight or flight, feeling like, extreme way of thinking that it's like the end of the world, that there's no way to get out of it. In other words, the fixed mindset, which we will cover in the next slides, feeling a more, sleep disturbance, having difficulty eating, feeling this just again, fight or flight. These are all different signs and symptoms of fear and when you are scared of something. So when you learn how to recognize them, you can start to work with them. So this is a little quiz I had in mind for you today. Now, I know some of us can think like, oh, I'm not, I don't experience fear on a day-to-day basis unless I'm like really in a state of fight or flight, like I just had a car accident or something. So I really want to invite you to see, if you're experiencing micro fear, and we'll get to navigate that through this quiz today. So let's play a little game. All right, I'll ask you a few questions and I want you to answer with yes or no. So the first question is, I often feel anxious and worried about potential threats or negative outcomes. So I want you to just answer bluntly, yes or no. I find it difficult to control my fear or anxious thoughts. Yes or no. I frequently experience restlessness or irritability due to fear. Yes or no. I am hyper aware and easily startled in my surroundings. I don't know if I pronounced it correctly. So I have intrusive thoughts related to my fears that are difficult to dismiss. I actively avoid situations, places, or objects that trigger my fear. Fear significantly disrupts my sleep patterns or causes nightmares. Fear has affected my appetite, leading to changes in eating habits. So whether you're eating too much or not eating at all and having like low appetite. And last but not least, I tend to withdraw from social interactions due to fear. So if you have mostly answered yes, which is very common when we're scared, and I assume that's why you probably felt, you gravitated towards today's topic and today's workshop, you're at the right place at the right time, because you can use fear as a powerful catalyst for growth. So the impact of fear, it can either hinder or fuel your personal growth. And what I want to help you is I want to help you kind of shift your perspective around fear and have you view it from the lens of empowerment instead. Whenever you find yourself contracting and being afraid of something, or feeling like you're going to fail at something, or you're afraid of, oh my God, if I'm going to be successful at this, and that is going to come from it, I want you to stop. And I want you to truly ask yourself the following: am I experiencing a growth mindset or a fixed mindset at the moment? And remind yourself that you do have a choice. Okay, so when you experience a growth mindset, you find yourself really believing in your abilities and thinking from this lens of, okay, I might be terrified right now. Okay, I might be scared right now. Okay, this might be really challenging for me. And I believe I can learn. I believe this is going to help me grow. I believe this is going to contribute for me in such a positive way, versus allowing yourself to spiral down in this fixed mindset of, oh my God, this is inevitable. This is going to happen. This is exactly why I don't do this. And like really going into that negative spiral of I am out of control and I have no power in my situation. I feel powerless to my fear. So you can take a look at just a difference, between the growth mindset and the fixed mindset, and you'll see a little bit more down the line why that's going to serve you to cultivate a more growth mindset. Matter of fact, this is one of the strongest tools that I want you to retain from today's workshop. Is if you can flip your narrative and really see it from the growth mindset perspective, you will always grow and evolve and pivot and change and use it as fuel instead of letting it kind of block you or stagnate your growth. So the reason why I'm sharing this is because, and that is one of the reasons why I'm the perfect person for this workshop, is because there was a time in my life where I actually allowed fear to stop me. I kept saying yes to my fears and I became my worst enemy. So the day that I took that photo, I believe it was June, a couple years back, I was really miserable and I was just making decisions that were completely misaligned because I was in a more fixed mindset of I'm doomed. and I'm stuck and this is my reality and it is what it is and I cannot change it. Until I had this conversation on the phone with one of my best friends at the time. I was crying and just complaining because that's all I knew how to do, right? Complain about my reality. Like, I hate my job and I hate my life and I don't like my reality. I hate my body and I hate this and I hate that and I hate my relationship and I'm so miserable. And I wasn't doing anything to change because I felt powerless to my reality. So at one moment, I had this aha life altering conversation, which now I look back on, I'm like, thank you. Thank you, best friend, for highlighting that. Basically, I was talking to her and complaining, and she asked me, all right, so what do you want? And I remember just being startled because I was like, what do you mean? What do I want? Like, what do you mean? I have a choice. And she's like, what? Yeah, what do you want? And I remember being like, I don't want to live in Canada. I'm actually from Montreal. I don't know if you're from Montreal too, Montreal, Canada. I hate it. My body is not made for this. I'm not cut up for the cold. I hate it. So I remember being like, I want to live in a tropical country. I want to live somewhere tropical, somewhere warm, somewhere, near the ocean, the sun. I just wanted that lifestyle so bad. And I'm sure some of you do too, right? It's like this living in paradise where you don't need a vacation from your life kind of life. And I really desired that. And I remember as well, feeling so out of shape, so unhealthy, just coping with food and wanting and desiring, to feel alive and fit and healthy. I remember as well, having a 9 to 5 job that I was literally only going to because I needed money and I needed to pay my bills, and it wasn't in alignment. I was not challenged in any way, shape, or form. I didn't feel like I was serving or doing something that was aligned with my purpose. It really felt daunting and redundant, and just going to like my 9 to 5 every single day, getting stuck in traffic. I'm sure some of you can relate to that. But it was paying my bills and, sucking my soul simultaneously. So what I wanted was, I wanted to get paid to do what I really desired in life. I wanted to be able to make money in life, waking up every single day to a career or a business that I was truly passionate by, and making an impact and feeling aligned, like feeling like I was, doing what I was supposed to be doing, not feeling this crippling anxiety around knowing that what I was doing was in my truth and being reminded of it every single day when I had to get dressed to go for work. I wanted to feel confident. I wanted to be able to have this, like, just embodied presence that claimed power, that claimed authority, that claimed respect, and feeling, good about myself. And I remember just feeling so small and so contracted. I remember people just like cutting me off whenever I was talking, almost like what I was saying wasn't important, and just allowing myself to be small. And I was fed up with that. I wanted to take up space and I wanted to be confident in taking up space. So that was like the thing that I wanted. I wanted to be unapologetically myself. I wanted a friend group that I related to that made me feel seen, understood. I felt so out of alignment with the relationships that I had in the past, right? At the time I was dating a woman. Believe it or not, yes, I was gay for 10 years, which I can maybe dive into eventually if you guys ever feel, it relates to you. But that was what a big part of my path was, being gay and it not actually being my truth. I was sexually abused at a young age and I was traumatized by men. So I wanted to be able to be and cultivate. I wanted to cultivate relationships that really felt aligned, and being in a lesbian relationship at the time was not aligned. And although it brought me so much clarity and it made me empathize with the LGBTQ community so much, and I'm still a big advocate for the LGBT community. I had to fight for my right to love a woman. I had to fight for my love to be a Middle Eastern woman in a household that was homophobic, and actually speak my truth and choose to have the right to love whoever I wanted. And at the time, whoever I wanted was a woman. And even though that no longer aligns, that was a powerful lesson for me. And it was a powerful, perspective shift around being truthful to myself and not allowing my trauma to block me from truly being in a relationship with a man, which was what was fully aligned. So the reason why I brought up that topic is because your relationships are direct reflections to you. They are mirrors. So if you are feeling misunderstood, if you're feeling, like I just don't relate to my friends. I don't relate to my boyfriend or my girlfriend. It's because you are not being truthful. And they're mirroring to you a version of yourself that you are no longer aligning with, that you are perpetuating, that it's time to let go of. And we'll talk about that a little bit later on. Bottom line, I was not aligned and I was ready to change that. So I took the photo right over here and made a commitment to myself to change all of it. I was tired. I was tired of saying yes to my nose out of fear. And that
Welcome
is
back
when
to
my
another
life
Saturday in my life. Today we're
So
starting off with some
I'll let
embodiment
you guys look at what my
practices.
day and my
I
life
recently
looks
added
like
essential
now, living in a
flow and
tropical
I'm loving
country.
it. Makes me feel sexy. Then I went straight to Mezzanine here in Tulum to get some work in, roughly around 5 hours. Saturdays for me are all about work and
The
play.
microphone just
And so after I
works.
was done with this, I head straight to the beach and got some sunbathing. And then I went to Ikal to meet up with a new friend I met here in Tulum. His name is Joshua. You're gonna see him now. And then we both went to Matcha Mama because we are literally addicted to this place, to have some chat and high frequency food. And then I finished off the day by meeting up with another one of my friends and chit chat at this delicious Asian / Peruvian fusion restaurant. It was so good. Honestly, I love my Saturday and I hope you did too. I wish you an amazing rest of your day. Welcome back to another Saturday in my life.
So the point in why I'm
Today
sharing that is to just give you an idea of what my day looks like. There was a time where my day looked like going to my 9 to 5 job, coming back home, and then watching Netflix. I had no will to do anything. I was bored. I hated my life, and now I get to move around and really make my reality my own. I get to work from wherever I want in the world. I get to do what I love. I get to move around and be flexible to try new things and new restaurants, meet new people, and the kind of friends that I have around feel so aligned, and I feel so seen, heard, and understood. And that would have never happened had I not decided to be truthful and make those bold moves and quit my 9 to 5 and travel across the world on my own to really discover myself. On the left here, I was living in Hawaii for a couple of months, and now I have been a digital nomad living in Tulum, Mexico for 2 years now. So it is definitely possible, and it is not as difficult as people make it out to be. So this is now my fitness journey. As you can tell, that was the photo I took on the left. You can tell my body now on the right, how much more toned I feel, how much more alive I feel, how much more aligned I feel, because I consistently showed up for myself and decided to hire a coach to really, pivot what I thought at the time was impossible. Right? When we're looking at the fixed mindset, it was, well, I've tried dieting and I've tried going to the gym and I always give up after 3 months. Yes, I did. And I now learned, right? When we're looking at a growth mindset, I now know how to do it differently. I now know what doesn't work. So I hired a coach and actually ended up breaking free from that cycle of gaining weight and losing weight and gaining weight and losing weight, and actually finding something that works for me, which is, hiring a coach, because I love having somebody that keeps me accountable. I also model for different brands that I love, right? We're talking about building my confidence, being seen, allowing myself to feel sexy and embodied. I've worked with different ethical clothing brands that I love here in Tulum, collaborated with different people, done multiple photo shoots where I was able to really embody my sassiness and my sexiness and truly step into that version of myself that I deeply wanted to step into when I was a little awkward and, felt so uncomfortable in my body. So this is definitely a complete, 180 from where I was. After doing that, I started really learning how to use my voice and be of service. The reason why I'm doing this workshop is today because I can use my voice. And I believe my voice is important, and I'm here to make an impact, and I'm here to use my story as fuel and make a difference. Now I started, facilitating workshops. I wrote guidebooks. I, recorded podcast episodes. I really started using my voice to serve, and that has been so empowering because as I started using my voice, I started attracting my tribe. So I became friends with people who I really felt, were empowering, people who cultivated the same mindset I cultivated, people who are embodied, people who would live a life of purpose. And as I did that, I started being able to, bring my my dog with me on the journey, right? When you start living fully in alignment, you get to make a difference in whoever's around you, whether it's your friend group or your family. And in my case, it's my dog. She lives with me here in Mexico, and I bring her everywhere. And when I mean everywhere, I literally mean everywhere. She is the life of my life, the life of my life, the light of my life. And I'm so grateful to be able to have her with me here in Mexico. And she wouldn't be living, she wouldn't be a Tulum dog if it wasn't because I made that shift. She would probably be home in the cold ass Canada and miserable. But now she gets to experience life with me, and the more I grow and the more I make money and I do what I love and I have that abundance flow, the more I get to make an impact, the more I get to bring my family with me, the more I get to bring my siblings and really show them a different way of life. So this is one of my motivations behind what I do, and I'm so excited to be able to start with my dog. So now that you have a background on who I am, right? Like why I'm the perfect person to teach you how to embrace and cultivate the power of pivoting your perspective around fear and changing it to a fuel for empowerment. I've showed you my story and I've showed you that I've done it. So it is most definitely possible for you too. And now that you know that, I want to make you dive into a powerful exercise of perspective shifting. So the objective behind today's exercise, it's to help you cultivate a growth mindset, right? By challenging your fixed thinking patterns, so that you can have a more flexible and growth oriented perspective. So basically, what I want you to do in today's exercise is to harness the power of cultivating a more growth mindset and letting go of your fixed mindset that you still have on a subconscious level ingrained in your mind. So when we're looking at, a fixed mindset, what I want you to do is to pull out a pen and paper, or write down in your notes on your computer the following. So I want you to identify a specific area or a skill in which you would like to develop a growth mindset in, right? It could be related to your work, your career, your personal life, your hobbies, or any aspect of your life that you would like to focus on and pivot, right? When we're looking at the things that you are afraid of, I want you to ask yourself, like, what am I scared of? Is it, having a successful business? Is it having this loving, nurturing, perfect relationship that I always wanted? I want you to ask yourself what area you want to grow in. And I want you to then pretty much identify 3 core beliefs or thoughts that are holding your abilities or potential of growth in that area. So since this is a recording, you can do more than 3, right? You can pause the video and really go, if you want to go all in, like identify 50, if you pull out 50 areas or beliefs that are coming from that area that you want to grow in. So let's do a little example, right? Let's say you want to grow a business. You want to be an entrepreneur, and you are like, I want to have my own business. I want to be a digital nomad. I want to travel the world. I want to do that. So what's going to happen is I want you to pause when you think of that vision that you truly desire for yourself, and really listen and identify what thoughts come up. These are all your fixed mindset. Oh, but like, living abroad is going to cost money, and I don't have money right now. That's a false belief, because there is a way to, break that cycle. Oh, but I'm not smart enough, or I don't know how to use my voice to make an impact, or I don't have enough experience. Like, these are all beliefs. These are all fixed mindset beliefs that are no longer serving you. And I want you to write down as many as you can, because once you do that, what we're going to be doing is I want you to really challenge the shit out of those beliefs. Challenge those beliefs like your life's dependent on it, because your life depends on it. And I really mean it. Your life truly depends on it. The life you want to live, okay, is on the other side of those fixed beliefs. It's on the other side of fear. And if you let that control your life, you will never, ever, 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 ever get to fully embody that version of yourself that deep down you are capable of embodying. So let's dive deep into it. So I want you to challenge those beliefs by asking yourself the following questions, okay? Like, we're diving deep here. So the first one is this belief based on evidence or assumptions, right? I'm not a good leader. Is this based off evidence? Have you tried to lead? Have you failed at it? Or have you just assumed because you've never done it before that you would be bad at it? Second thing is, how might this belief limit my progress or potential, right? What is this costing you? What is this costing you? I'll give you a good example, right? Me believing I'm not a good leader or my voice doesn't matter is costing me making an impact and changing and transforming people's lives. So if I don't show up because of that fear, I wouldn't be recording this workshop right now. You would not be sitting, changing your life and diving deep in shadow work with me right now if I allowed that fear to block me. So, right, really ask yourself, what is this blocking me from? Now, third question I want you to ask yourself is, what alternative perspectives or possibilities exist? That's a strong one because this is going to help you really expand beyond that limitation and kind of view this from the lens of what's out there for me, what's possible for me, right? And then once you have that vision, right, like the possibility would be seeing yourself actually hosting a webinar, seeing yourself speaking in front of thousands and thousands of people and really sitting in that vibration. And last but not least, right, how can I reframe this belief to support my growth and development? So this one is powerful because we're going to actually jump on that right after this. So when you ask yourself, how can I? You jump into the growth mindset and you're no longer in this fixed, powerless state of it is not possible and I'm doomed, right? So once you have enumerated these and you've challenged those beliefs, what I want you to do is to reframe each belief or thought into a growth-oriented statement, right? Focus on emphasizing effort, learning, and possibilities. So an example would be, right, a fixed mindset would be, I'm not good at public speaking and I'll always be nervous. That's fixed. That's like, I'm doomed. There's no way this is ever going to change. What I want you to do is to flip it around and go towards a more growth mindset reframe, right? Public speaking is a skill I can improve through practice and learning. Each experience helps me become more confident. Do you see how more open that statement is? How much more possible it is to get to that end goal of public speaking when you view it from the lens of, oh, okay, it's a skill. It's a skill. And I get to learn that. No one is born an expert at something. An expert is developed through practice and studying and showing up. And the first time, the second time, maybe even the 100th time you're going to do it, it's going to suck. But if you're truly committed to actually achieving that goal, it's about being patient and consistently show up for yourself and cultivating that growth mindset that's going to help you push past those limitations and help you grow and evolve. And then once you have those new statements written down, what I want you to do is to have them somewhere around you at all times. Now, why is this so powerful? It's because what that's going to do is it's going to subliminally implement seeds or plant seeds with, new thoughts that you're not necessarily going to be paying attention to, but they're going to be in your peripherals and they're going to impact your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is 90+% impacting your actual life. Like you think you're consciously choosing your life when in reality you're walking through life impacted by your subconscious mind. So you need to harness the power of that subconscious mind and use it to your advantage. And this is what this exercise is about. It's once you took time to really personalize those thoughts. I'm all about affirmations, but I don't like to just state affirmations for the sake of having an affirmation like I am powerful, I am this, I am that. No, I like to be very specific. So the new reframed statements are going to be tailored to your own limitations, and they're going to subliminally rewire those beliefs and allow you to, on a subconscious level, cultivate the complete opposite beliefs that are going to be way more self-serving. An example of that could be sticky notes. Another one here is something that I have like literally on my wall next to my office a desk, is having it framed and having it be, in a little area next to you. For me, it's literally to my right. I don't even see it. I'm so focused right now over here, but without realizing it, it is planting subliminal seeds. I can read you some of mine, right? I show up consistently for myself. I'm valuable, worthy, cherished, and respected. I value and respect my time and energy. I always stand in my power and speak my truth. I am a gift to this world. My love is rare and my heart is pure. I am special and inspiring. I am magnetic and naturally flow in my feminine radiance with ease and bliss. I am empowered and connected to divine love. I surrender to my divine calling and intuition. My beauty radiates love, warmth, and joy, and so on and so forth. I'm not going to keep reading it because it's long, but you get the memo, right? It's reframing those thoughts and those beliefs and having them around you, because you get to choose. You have a choice, right? You're not a victim of your circumstances. Now, with that being said, right, with those new reframed statements comes accountability, and your own ability to really step up and rise up and choose every single day what you choose to feed. I'll give you an example, right? I value and respect my time and energy. If I value and respect my time and energy, and I decide to spend time with somebody who is dishonoring me and disrespectful and doesn't value me or my worth, I would not be a match to that statement. So it's about really taking ownership over my life and being authentic with the new version of myself that I wish to cultivate, which means if someone is dishonoring me and I don't know, it's kind of wishy-washy, like responding hours late, or not really prioritizing me in their lives, if I choose to value, respect my time and energy, then that means I will not entertain this kind of connection. So this is really important, and having that every single day near you, it's going to be a really powerful reminder to help you truly cultivate that growth mindset, and also helping you take accountability and reminding of you who you are becoming and the choices that you are making in the process of that. So that is an important part. So once you understand, this whole thing, I invite you to just pause for 10, 15, 20 minutes, maybe even 30 minutes, put some music on and start reframing those thoughts. Really go back to the previous slides and pause and go and do the exercise, because it's going to be very powerful. So the second topic that I chose for today's workshop, once you've done your exercise and you have those beautiful affirmations, put them aside, because we're going to jump on our second topic. It is going to be how self-doubt and a fixed mindset can be closely connected. I chose this topic specifically because self-doubt, what it does, it's that it kind of reinforces your fixed mindset by confirming existing beliefs about your limited abilities, right? We talked earlier about, oh, I'm not good at it, or I can't do that, or I'm not a good public speaker, and yada, 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 right? It's like self-doubt, once you really fall into that spiral of like doubting yourself, if you don't do anything about it and you don't recognize it and pivot or change, it can easily become this crippling monster inside of you that's actually reinforcing more of a fixed mindset, which then stagnates your growth. So, what I want to do in today's workshop is really help you just develop different strategies on how you can overcome self doubt, right? First and foremost, what you need to do when you recognize self doubt, it's to acknowledge it. This is self doubt. This is not my truth. This is not my potential. This is not what's possible for me. This is self doubt. This is inner criticism. I want you to challenge that. The same way that you challenge those limiting beliefs, I want you to challenge that self-talk and replace it with something else, right? Something that's more self-serving when you recognize it. I want you to cultivate self-compassion and treat yourself with kindness. Let's just say you find yourself really being like, wow, this girl is so much more, beautiful than I am, so much more, powerful than I am. Whatever thoughts come up when you're feeling insecure and you're doubting yourself, I want you to be kind to yourself and really taking a pause and a moment to really see, like, how am I talking to myself right now? Is this really serving me? Is this really like helping me become better? Is this making me feel empowered? And if not, how can I practice compassion and being like, you know what? there's stuff I can't change about myself, and there's things I can actually change. And these are the things that I choose to cultivate and grow. Obviously, reframing failures as learning opportunities. This one is a big one. I'll give you an example. A couple of days ago, I hosted a workshop, and I wasn't really proud of my workshop, to be honest with you. The PowerPoint presentation was not up to my expectation. I felt like I truly underdelivered. And my doubts started kicking in, and I was like, oh my God, I'm never going to be good at this, blah, blah, blah. Like these self-limiting thoughts, right? Fixed mindset. And then I remember just being like, okay, what about this experience did I feel, I didn't like, I didn't enjoy? And I was like, you know what? The PowerPoint presentation wasn't on point. I didn't like the structure of my workshop. I didn't feel like it was conducive to growth or to really making sure that, my audience truly understood what I wanted to share. And I took that as a reference of, okay, how can I pivot now? What can I do, right? Empowering statements. What can I do to change this? I rewrote the entire script. I rewrote the entire narrative of my workshop, reframed the structure, changed my slides. And today's workshop is actually based off of the modifications I've done because I did not allow that to be my limitation. Instead, I practiced what I preached, and I was like, what can I do to flip this around and actually empower me? So, reframing failures as learning opportunities, very, very, very important. It's going to help you be more compassionate as well towards yourself. Set realistic goals and take small steps towards them. That's another way to overcome self-doubt, right? When you're looking at the big picture and you're like, holy fuck, this is like, I'm so far away from this vision. That's okay. That's okay, because you know what? You can take small steps every single day. There's a quote that I really love, and I apologize in advance if I'm not stating it properly, but it is, if every single day you just change 1%, right? Taking one step that is in alignment, right? After a year, you would have flipped 360. And that's why I firmly believe in 6 months, in 1 year, you can truly change your life if every single day you make a choice that is fully in alignment with the person you were becoming and you desire to become, and you take those steps accordingly and with sovereignty and accountability. You can truly change your life. It is not a 10-year project. It is even a 3-month project. I'm a life transition coach for women, and I've seen people pivot and change their lives in 3 months. So I firmly believe that it is possible. And once you change and you pivot and you make those aligned decisions, I can promise you the universe will pivot and support you, because this whole thing, it's a universe. It's a vibrational based universe. So once you're on that vibration and you're clear, the universe will support you in that. And I can promise you that. I am a testament, and my clients are too. So point number 6, seek support and feedback from supportive individuals, right? When I failed miserably over and over and over again on my fitness journey, right? I eventually understood, you know what? Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe I don't know how to freaking do it. I don't know what to do when I'm in the gym. And that's why I feel, self-doubt. So I seek support. I hired a coach. And, sometimes we go and we spend money on food and restaurants and drugs and wine and alcohol and going out and activities, and we don't invest that money on ourselves. Like, that was the best money I ever spent on myself. It was to hire a personal trainer, because once I achieved that goal, which I have failed over and over and over and over again at achieving, do you have any idea how freaking pivoting that was for my own ability, to show up for myself? It cultivated such a powerful, viewpoint on what I'm capable of. It flipped my narrative. For years I couldn't do something, and all of a sudden I achieved it. It was like, oh, wait a minute. So this whole time I was telling myself I can't do it, now I can. So where else can I change, that perspective? Where else can I change that perspective? Where else can I change, that narrative in my mind that is limiting me from actually piercing through my patterns and limitations and really showing up the way I know I am capable to show up? Point number 7, focus on your strength and past successes. Something that really helps me, especially in the beginning of my journey as a coach, I was like, I'm still new, I've been doing it for 3 years now. So I'm like very like, I've seen the transformations, I'm confident. But in my past, when I was still new, I was like, I don't know if I can really help someone. But focusing on my past successes really helped me, because I was like, I was able to do it for myself. So that was past success, right? I was able to achieve that. So if I can do it, I can help someone else. And then as I did that, I started helping people. And then, oh, now I can help people. Great. So that is like helping me rewire my brain around what is possible and what I have accomplished. And sometimes, most often than not, to be honest, and you let me know if you can relate to that, we find ourselves, just focusing on our failures and forgetting how much we accomplished up until now. So I really invite you to, whenever you're feeling challenged, draft a list of the things you have accomplished in life and see how much you did and how valuable your work is, or what you have done in the past, and how much you can make an impact based off of what you have done. And I can guarantee you'll have some stuff on that list. Point number 8, practice self-care to support your well-being, right? Whenever you're feeling depressed and down and, scared, it's so easy to get wrapped up in the, I just want to eat junk food and just, let myself crumble, right? Practicing self-care is the first step. And you're doing it whether you're aware of it or not, right? Choosing to participate in today's workshop is you practicing self-care. It's you choosing to do something that is self-serving. And self-care can look like different things. It doesn't have to be go to the spa and, run a warm bath and light up some incense. It can be to the gym and have this hardcore workout, or like go bungee jumping, whatever it is that makes you feel like you are showing up for yourself. I invite you to cultivate more of that and do more of that, so that you can really show up for yourself and break free from these limiting beliefs that you are not with you, when in fact you are. The last 2 points. Number 9, embrace challenges and take calculated risks. This one is a big one. Now, the reason why I say this, it's because embracing challenges is one of the hardest things to do when you have cultivated a more fixed mindset in the past. Growing into becoming the person that like goes with the punches and really just like, all right, cool, all right, amazing, okay, cool, this is scary, I failed, great, let's focus on moving forward. This way of thinking is not something that you're going to have, automatically. It's something that you're going to cultivate. And the more you grow your mindset, the more you cultivate a growth mindset, the more easy it's going to be. And the more you'll find yourself really like actually enjoying the challenge and being like, bring it on, instead of like crumbling and be like, oh, I can't do it. So highly, highly, highly recommend that point. And last but not least, celebrate progress and practice gratitude. After my workshop, even though I was not satisfied and I was like, I failed, this sucks. I went out and I had pasta with my friend, and I was like, let's celebrate, because I still showed up for myself. And I will, look back at it when I'm more calm and in a more clearer headed space, and I will pivot and change and embrace the challenge and move past it. And tonight I will still celebrate, because I still showed up for myself. So showing up for yourself and celebrating is so important. So important. So now we're going to be doing a little exercise, which I love. This is so fun for me, because it's going to really help you kind of like harness your creativity. So to use, your imagination and really visually see your limitations and your potential and your growth. So this exercise is called Digital Empowerment Collage. So what I invite you to do is to use a platform such as like canva.com. So canva.com. It's free. And you can go on, vision board for the, what is it called? The measurements. And then start collaging different things that represent your self-doubt journey, and different things and images and colors that represent your self-empowerment journey. Okay? So basically, you can search for images, symbols, colors, typography, that resonate with your inner strength and positive beliefs. So whether it's like a bold statement or, bold, bright colors, whatever it is, I want you to like visually use your creative sense or creative side to represent that, and get creative and have fun. So you can select the images. You can create like two sections, one for your self-doubt, right? Really use the colors of like when you feel doubt. Is it gray? Is it blue? Is it black? What are the words like, I'm a failure, whatever, like really like put it there on that collage. And maybe having a person that's more contracted, like really visually represent how you feel. And then on the right, go for like that empowerment, what it feels like to feel in your fullest embodiment, right? Maybe go for the colors that you love, whether if maybe it's bright pink or a yellow or a black bold color. And then have this like entrepreneur or maybe like a hippie in the forest, whatever represents you. I want you to visually create and have that be presented to you on that visual representation. Now, if we were doing a workshop that was live right now, we would be sharing, our visions together and sharing the process. But if ever, you have a friend and you want to share that with them, you're more than welcome to like share it and just be like, hey, I just want to share my visual, creative digital work, wall art, and share it with you and show you like what my journey to empowerment is and what's important to me on that journey. So the same way that, I have my subliminal affirmations framed and they're somewhere along my workstation around me, I really invite you to have that visual, box, that visual canva somewhere around you. It could be in your shower, it can be in your bedroom, of both sides, and really choose to remind yourself when you see that visual that you get to choose. Like, do I want to be in the left when I'm cultivating those fixed mindset and like I'm limited and crumbled and small and or do I choose to be on the right in my empowerment? And really have that visual representation around you can be very, very, very helpful. So here I just put a little slide to just, what the exercise is about and how it actually serves you in helping you overcome self-doubt and breaking free from fearful thinking, right? And a fixed mindset. It's encouraging self-expression and reflection, right? When you're using your creativity to express, you're in a way cultivating more of a problem-solving kind of mind, which is creative, which is helping you. It's facilitating the transformation of self-doubt into empowering beliefs, because you are using certain keywords and colors and themes and visuals to inspire you to choose the empowerment over the limited, perspectives. It's supporting the shift from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, as you already see. It's promoting personalization and ownership of the empowerment journey, right? Every single person is going to have a different map. Every single person is going to have a different blueprint to what their journey towards empowerment is, and it's going to show in those visuals, for sure. And normally when we all share in a workshop, every single person has a whole different visual representation of what empowerment looks like. One can be, being a mother. One can be being a CEO. One could be being an artist. One could be being a mermaid. And it exists. I'm not kidding. Some people really do want to be mermaids, and that's okay. And that's pretty much it for the exercise. So normally right now I would have a 30-minute Q&A period where people can ask me questions. So since this is an actual recording, feel free to reach out to me on these these different modalities, right? I have my email, m.tudor@gmail.com. You can reach out to me, just put workshops so I know where you're coming from, or recorded workshop, or even follow me on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. I film little inspiring videos whenever I feel called to channel something, and I share some tools as well on my pages. So these would be the best outlets for you to be in contact with me. Now, if you really enjoyed today's workshop and you're like, you know what, I actually want to dive deeper into that with Mariana. I want to really have a more personalized approach. I loved the exercises I did today. I loved self-exploring. I loved getting to know myself and my limitations. And I feel empowered by the end of that workshop, and I'm excited to work on it and print those visuals and share this with people. Then I highly invite you to schedule a free discovery call with me. I don't know if I'll be able to help you, to be honest with you. That is why I love to sit one-on-one with you guys. I don't have a fixed service, right? My coaching is premium for a specific reason. It's because it is tailored and personalized. And for that, I need to sit with you one-on-one. It's free, 25 minutes, where I kind of assessing your needs, who you are, what you want from, coaching, and seeing if I would be the right fit. If I am not the right fit, do not worry, because I'm really well connected and I'm surrounded by a lot of coaches. I'm surrounded by a lot of experts in the field of self-help and self-development. So I could refer to you someone if ever I'm not the right fit for you. So don't shy away from, really reaching out and hopping on that free discovery call with me. Now, if you are confident this is the right fit for you, I'm just going to navigate, quickly what you can expect from working with me one-on-one. So the first thing we do is a discovery call. And if we are a fit, after that, there's going to be 2 to 3 sessions where we're going to be diving deeper into really understanding who you are and what makes you you. So your journey, I'm going to ask you questions about like your childhood, where you come from, what's your background, what's your story, who are you? And then from there, I will understand, what your vision is, who you want to become, and then look at what is blocking your way. So what is in the way of that? And as a coach, my job is to then draft and design an action step plan to help you go from plan A to plan B, right? To pivot from feeling disempowered to actually having and living an aligned life. And what makes me premium, again, it's because as I tailor that journey for you, right? Whether it's a 6-month program or 1-year program where we're working together to really help you pivot, and I'm holding you accountable and meeting you every single week, and we're growing together. I will also be bringing in experts to support you on that journey as well. So a good example would be, let's just say you have really strong limiting beliefs around your capacity to retain information. Like you're like, I'm not smart enough. And because I'm not smart enough, I don't believe I'm capable of X, Y, Z, and etc. I will be like, okay, cool. So now we're working with the subconscious. Great. I have an expert that's a hypnotherapist. Let's bring him in for 3 sessions during that 6-month, package. And, I will have him help you rewire those specific beliefs that we extracted during our sessions. And I will be like the middle woman between you having the session with the hypnotherapist and you working with me and on your journey together. After each session, I draft and write a session summary with the key points that we discussed. So it's really tailored and personalized to you, and the price is also personalized to you. So it really is according to your needs and what you are capable of affording as well. And last but not least, we have a completion, right? My goal is not to have you work with me for years and years and years on end. My goal is to be like your transition buddy that's helping you pivot from feeling lost to feeling, empowered and aligned, and you know what you want from life, and you're taking action every single day, and you're reaping the rewards of those actions. So then there's there is going to be an assessment at the end of us working together. And if you want to continue working together, whether it's through talk therapy or just having me as your accountability partner, great. And if you're ready to spread your wings and fly, then that's even more amazing. So highly invite you to, schedule that 25-minute free discovery call with me if you're feeling called to work with me. And once again, just a reminder, every single decision you make is creating a ripple effect in your journey. So again, if I did not choose to work with that coach, if I did not choose to change my reality and pivot my mindset and really ask for help and show up for myself, I would not be sitting here in front of you. So I firmly believe in those decisions and aligned decisions. And I've learned how to cultivate that. And I've learned how to make those aligned decisions boldly. So I'm definitely here to help you out with this. And that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed today's workshop. Once again, you have my handles. Feel free to reach out to me on my email or follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and even LinkedIn if you want to be my LinkedIn buddy. And that's pretty much it. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. And I hope that today provided you with a lot of value. Highly recommend you again to print those subliminal affirmations, print those visuals that you created today, because they're going to be planting seeds every single day. And I highly highly, highly, highly believe that they are going to make an impact because they have made an impact in my life and in other people's lives as well. I love you all. I'm sending you lots and lots and lots of kisses, and I look forward to seeing you maybe in another one of my workshops. If you're coming from Eventbrite, I've facilitated another workshop that's going to be on called how to make aligned decisions, or how to get clear on your why, your life purpose. Highly recommend you go check it out, and probably through my socials you're going to be made aware of different workshops, live workshops that I'll be hosting. So recommend you check out that as well. Mwah! Have a beautiful day. Bye.